Madam President, and you don't have to answer me, obviously, I'm just going to make some statements. I would like for you not to take into consideration any kind of agendizing of removing Mark Bixby from the Measure R committee, because there's no reason to. And in fact, I believe that my colleague at the end of the dais is unduly and in a fashion that is inappropriate, disparaging publicly from the dais an upstanding member of our community. It's a form of defamation, what I heard this evening about Mr. Bixby. I know Mr. Bixby personally, and what was said this evening is totally incorrect. This is just more politicking and attacking by Mr. at the end of the dais. This is what he does, and it's so sad. It needs to stop. Mr. Bixby is the treasurer for my committee and for Madam President's committee. He does it for free. We don't pay him anything to do that. There's no conflict of interest. He happens to be a volunteer. He's such a nice guy. He just volunteers to do these things out of the goodness of his heart when other folks charge $20,000 to be your treasurer of your campaign. And actually, he had nothing to do with OVTA's violation. They were fined $9,000 for mistakes they made in 2016. Mr. Bixby wasn't even my treasurer till 2020. So what does he have to do with OVTA, or me for that matter? From 2016, he has nothing to do with me from that time period. And I made no violation. I did nothing wrong, although there are plenty out in the community who are trying to assert that I have done so. And I'm sure they're led by my colleague at the end of the dais, because that's what he does. He disparages for no reason. If I were Mr. Bixby, I would take this meeting very seriously and listen to the comments that were made on the record. If Mr. Bixby wanted to make a case in a court of law of being disparaged as a private citizen, claiming that he's doing something illegal or inappropriate, Madam President, don't ever entertain such a thing. We would all be included in Mr. Bixby's lawsuit if he really wanted to take it there. And in fact, it concerns me that I heard this evening my colleague at the end of the dais say that you and I were engaged in some kind of debate that we shouldn't have been. Actually, I read the law. I read what he had talked about, AB 922, and it says that two people can have discussion. It just can't be a majority of the board. I didn't see anybody else but you and I, Madam President, answering questions of the community.
Madam Clerk, point of clarification.
Yes.
922 is about zygotes and oocytes.
No, that's a late. No, that's a later. No, there's different ones.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Can I reclaim my 20 seconds there?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. You're right. There was another assembly bill that was about what you said, biological samples. This is a different AB 922. The numbers get used again. Anyway, bottom line, nothing inappropriate happened. And I would encourage my colleague at the end of the dais not to use foul language and attack commenters on Facebook. I have the examples. I'm not going to bring them up tonight because it's not appropriate, but I would just encourage him to not do that.
Thank you.